Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Grand Tactician: The Civil War. I lost track of the episode number, but we're playing our Union Let's Play of the Whiskey and Lemons DLC, the 1861 campaign for this game, playing at the Regimental campaign that looks at just the Eastern Theater. We are apparently Shaky the Butcher, which I think is due to our nickname Mischievous. Apparently we have issues with pressure and we appear tense in combat, which doesn't really match my reputation in my opinion. We've just come off winning a battle as a commander of a division against a Confederate division in which we won a major battle, and that is giving us the status of a legendary commander. We are a major general, which puts us in command of a division, although we could take command of a corps. Our prestige is getting close enough to allowing us to promote ourselves to lieutenant general, which I believe would put me in charge of at least a corps, possibly an army, based on the rank. Right now, again, we command a division. We are just north of Richmond, which is down here, but we don't have the readiness to push south. Our readiness is pretty low. Supply situation's not great. And so our division is kind of anchored in place until we can get the supply situation better, which I don't know how quickly that will happen because there are Confederate divisions to our north and to our west. We have some tenuous supply, I think, coming through the river, maybe. And also some roundabout ways. We do have a depot somewhere around here as well, but again, our supply situation is not great. If I was a lieutenant general, I would probably just take command of the Army of Northeastern Virginia, consolidate our forces, and drive straight on Richmond, as I think that would be the quickest way to bring this war to a close. Confederate national morale is at 49 and national support is 32. If their national morale falls below 25, they lose. So they're losing pretty badly on that front, but we keep getting a lot of these little small battles out west that gradually result in Confederate victories and pushing us back, and then we come back, and there's this, it's just kind of a hodgepodge of divisions all over. I looked at the Army of Northeastern Virginia. Their first division is out here, out west of the Shenandoah. Their second division is here near Culpeper, I think it is. Their third division is again out west. The fourth division is northeast of Fredericksburg, which could clear the line of supply. They were pushed back, though, by a couple of Confederate divisions attacking near Fredericksburg. And then their fifth division is down here just north of Richmond. So it's kind of all scattered to hell. There's an even larger Army of Occupation, which has Morris's division up here in the valley. The second division is a little bit close to that, also in the valley. The third division is further north, but still in the valley, and their fourth division is also in the valley. So they're a little bit more consolidated. If I was commanding that division, then perhaps, or that army group, I guess, then perhaps I would fare better. I'm kind of curious about that, actually. So if we go here, can we take command of it? The Army of Occupation is commanded by McClellan. Influence high command and request transfer of your command units to this. No, so that would just make me transfer my division to McClellan, which I don't particularly want. And to take command of this army, I would need 14,000 prestige. So we're a good long ways away from that being viable. Yeah, I think they're the largest army. There's also the Department of Virginia, which is 12,000 men. I wonder how easy that would be to take command. It's only two divisions, really one division, and then some attached regiments of about 12,000 men. I don't think I could take command of that, but I don't think I'd be any better off there. They have 12,000 men, 5,700 are with us near Richmond, and then the other attached regiments I think are up here near the garrison. And then you've got the Department of Pennsylvania, which has 57,000 men in much better shape, actually. This division is in great readiness. The first, second, third, and fourth divisions are all spread out mostly along northern Virginia, some up in the valley, some out west. But the Department of Pennsylvania, 57,000 men, commanded by Major General Robert Patterson, and we would need 13,000 prestige to take control of his force. You got the Army of New York, which is only 4,800 men. No real reason to command that. Army of the Cumberland, 1,900 men. Army of the Hudson, 2,700 men. So just a lot of scattered forces after that. 20th Corps has 40,000 men in it. I guess that's just an independent corps. But even that would require 8,200 prestige. So while we could almost get ourselves promoted to Lieutenant General with prestige, I don't think we could take command of anything. Maybe we'd get assigned a new command. I don't know, but it would be probably a step back. So I guess in that sense, we'll keep commanding the Butchers Division. We just won a battle here, and our force needs time to recuperate. So readiness is in the red. The enemy forces in front of us have retreated, and we will just move forward on times 20 speed and see what happens. It's possible, you know, the Rebs will lose the will to fight and things will just go our way. I don't know if they'll attack me again. You'd think they'd want to push me away from Richmond. Again, we're real close. We're kind of in this V of rivers, which I think would be a really bad strategic position. But, you know, what do I know? Anyway, guys, we're moving forward here at times 20 speed. Is there anything I can do with my character here, or anything I should be doing with my character? Actions, I'm working on studying leadership, which will improve my, increases my leadership by half star, which would be nice. It'll get us up into the 2+ star range, move us up from liked. I really should work on leadership and cunning. Those are two attributes that are kind of a little bit low. Administration and fame are in great shape, and initiative is, I think, okay. I don't really have enough cash to go out and spend a bunch of money on prestigious items, and frankly, I don't know that it makes a lot of sense. I'm already kind of maxed or close to max for a division commander, so we can look at some really expensive stuff, but ideally more when we get promoted to the next stage. I will say that time does work in our favor for our promotion to Lieutenant General. As you can see here, we have 3,400 prestige more to go. Now it's down to 3,300, so slowly but surely, yours truly may eventually get promoted to the rank of Lieutenant General based on my fame and political, influence of my success. I've got to be one of the more famous major generals, although some of the army commanders are also major generals. I don't know how much prestige of, like, requesting an army command would be impacted by prestige, because, like, if I get up to being a lieutenant general, then maybe it makes sense. Oh God, there's a big battle going on there. Maybe it would make sense for them to promote me. What's going on? Like, what's the actual, does it tell me who's fighting and what's the, so there's a 37,000 man Confederate assault against 33,000 Federals. Is that all of these battles? Is that what they're all? Federals are not in good, I mean, there's just a swarm of rebel divisions over here. It's a disaster at Madison Courthouse. Federal troops pushed back. I don't know how disastrous the battle was, but it obviously didn't go well. They routed multiple divisions, pushed them back in a way that we haven't seen them push back in quite some time. And that kind of means while most of the valley's in our control, we are now even more isolated down here in the south. Our ammunition supply is bad. Our food supply is bad. Can we withdraw? No hostile movement, or no movement possible in hostile territory. I really think I need to get out of here. I just don't know how to do it. Can I not withdraw to Alexandria? Doesn't look like it. Our readiness is ticking up, but our supply situation ain't getting any better. Port Gibson. Is there a way to order foraging? Doesn't look like it. Can I move us back here? I can. So if I move back to the north, I can order my troops to withdraw back to friendly positions. We'll see if we can get around the rebels here near Fredericksburg. I do regret leaving the 1st Division, but the reality is I just need to get out of here so I can get into better supply. All right, apparently our men won a victory at Sperryville, which I don't know if that's like down here or not. There's another battle that's going on down here in the southern end of the valley. My troops aren't quite ready to fight there. This one looks like it'll probably go our way. We outnumber the Rebs by a considerable margin. So maybe we'll make some progress down there. Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm up here near DC. So we're resting and rehabbing near DC. Waiting for our supplies to get up. I'm not going to send anyone home on leave just because I would like to get back in the fight as soon as I can get that readiness up. But there are battles going on down here in the south. I want to get our readiness into the green and then we'll move. Glorious victory at Madison Courthouse. So it looks like we pushed the enemy back. Also, maybe we won a victory. Oh no, now it says disaster in Montgomery. I think that was down here in front of Richmond, the 1st Division. So it says they won a victory at Madison Courthouse, but then units moved back north. So not totally sure about that. But our troops our numbers are back over 10,000 as our supply situation has improved. Back in DC, you can see the ammunition counters have gone up over 70% for rifle ammo. Artillery ammo is still a little low. And then you've got forage and provisions back up to 100%. 13 Corps fleeing in panic. So out west here, it looks like a bad defeat. Some reason the 13th Corps retreated southwest and Lee's division withdrew. Again, the strategic movements on this map don't make a ton of sense to me in many cases, but we're working on getting our readiness up. It's kind of annoying that it takes, I mean, it's been a month since our last fight and our supplies and our readiness are still not up. You would think by 1863, commanders would be good enough to work on that more quickly, taking less than a month between major battles, but maybe not. Readiness is almost into the yellow, which means in theory we can start moving. 1st Division slipped around that flank, so again, nobody near DC. I don't know where that 2nd Division was going. All right, so we finished my leadership studies, so that's good, I guess. I don't know where that 2nd Division is going. Are they fighting a battle down here? Should we try and go and get in it? 7,800 men versus 12,000. Probably no need to do that fight. I mean, it might be fun to crush the Rebs, but I don't think there's any reason to push when we're not yet really at full readiness yet. I'm going to be a McClellan and wait till everything's perfect to move. My health is also getting better, which is good. Our fame is maxed out, it looks like. Looks like that's a full 5 stars. Initiative's up to 3.5, so we're venturous. Leadership is up to 2.25 based on that last action we took, and we're now distinguished. And our administration's 4.5 and cunning is 1.5. You'd think with such a high administration we'd be better off. Prestige is down to 3K. What about taking command of the damn army, which is all in green except for me because McDowell is a freaking coward and won't push. 14,000, so still not really anywhere near being able to afford it. How are my units equipped? We equipped them with Lorenz's last episode, I believe, or 2 episodes ago. Which is probably good enough. There's probably no sense in equipping them with better stuff. If we even have it available to us. Whoa! Henry and Spencer repeating rifles? Boys! How expensive would they be? Oh, I can't. It doesn't even let me select. I could do Henry. Oh, I could do Spencer too. Does it tell me what the upgrade is? You're telling me it's only 107 prestige to equip a brigade with Spencers? Henrys are way more expensive. So a Spencer is 16 rounds a minute, but so does a Henry. Bruh. I don't care what the standardization numbers are. The only problem is ammunition. I don't think you get more than 60 rounds, so you burn through that fast. What's the accuracy on these things? Accuracy mediocre. I'm a little hesitant. Now I'm going to sound like a Civil War commander for sure, but it's like, I don't know if I can trust my boys with that. You know, like they're going to burn through their ammo in 2 seconds. What about the cavalry? Can we give them Spencers? So we can give them Spencers. What's the difference between the Spencer carbine and the Spencer repeating rifle? Aren't they the same thing? They both have 16 rounds a minute. The Spencer rifle has a better range at 350. Mediocre. Shorter and lighter version of the world's first military metallic cartridge repeating rifle. I guess it's theoretically better for cavalry. 300 yards is still damn long range. They're both almost the same price. Yeah, we're going to do that for the cav. 91 prestige is a pittance to pay to get my boys these weapons. We're going to do it for both cavalry units if we can. Okay, it would probably cost, so if it's 100 per unit, 3, 4, 5. I think that's a little too much to equip all my units with repeating rifles, especially if I want to get myself promoted out of this lame division command, right? And again, 16 rounds a minute if they only carry 60 rounds. I want to see what that looks like before I equip a whole bunch of my units. But let's do one infantry unit with Henry's just to see. Okay. Okay, boys, we got some of the best damn equipped soldiers around. Now we just got to wait for the readiness to go up. I assume the standardization score also influences how easy it is to supply your troops, but we might just batter their way into Richmond at this rate. Give me that readiness up. We'll be ready to march by the end of June. And it looks like that battle is going on down here near Fredericksburg. A lot of units routing. I would have thought the Federals would be doing fine. Also, another series of battles being fought down here. Disaster at Appomattox. Do we have units southwest of Richmond? What is going on? Victory at Madison Courthouse. So the 2nd Division fought down here near Appomattox. That's nuts. And the battle at Fredericksburg is still ongoing. I'm getting chubby. My other officers told me I'm getting chubby. I'm just trying to get my health and fitness up, dudes. I'm 160. That ain't chubby, but we'll cut back on the rations a bit. Let's get my prestige up. Let's throw a party. Go to fat camp, but that costs a lot of prestige. What's going on down here? Is this still going our way? Still going our way. It says it is anyway. 12,000 to 7,500. I don't want to burn their... I'd rather push south of Fredericksburg and deal with Fields' Corps. Or the Army of the Peninsula down here. I don't know. I want to push on Richmond, but maybe it's better to clear out Madison Courthouse on the left flank if we can get our troops out that way and not overwhelmed. But now that we've got some quality units with repeating rifles, perhaps it's worth the risk. What's our readiness now? We're still in the yellow. I'm going to wait till the end of June at the earliest or latest, and we're going to move if nothing happens better by then. Meanwhile, another battle going on out here in the west. National support's getting low. National morale's getting low for the Rebs, but not yet in surrender territory. Glorious victory at Aquia Harbor. The enemy withdrew south of Fredericksburg. Okay. Glorious victory at New Market in the Valley. These boys are going to be driven back, I assume. Or was that further north? I think it was here. Yeah, they're withdrawing. Okay. I think we're going to advance west toward Culpeper Courthouse because there have been a lot of battles here And these divisions up here have been continually pushed in there. So there's a better chance of me getting support, I think, if I go left. And I can still swing south toward Richmond from there. Apparently Polk's division just disintegrated. We are in the green. Not quite all the way up. I'd like to get that up a little bit higher. So let's get it up toward, I don't know, toward the end of the green. We will move by June 20th if nothing changes. Another battle going on here near Newmarket. Or Mount Jackson, I guess. Another victory for the Federals. Rebs retreating north for some strange reason. But another great victory for us. Let's take a look here with the national morale. Still over 45%. So, again, no immediate risk of the Rebs surrendering, I don't think. My prestige is hanging tight at 4,000. It's interesting that you don't get army orders here. Like, when I issue an order to my division to move, you will see a pop-up that says, like, General McDowell has ordered our force to move south. But it's, like, totally up to me. I don't actually get direction of, hey, maybe you should move south. So, Army of New York fleeing in panic? Imboden's division? Glorious victory at Millborough. All right, I think we can probably maintain quality readiness if I move into the valley. So let's do that. See if the Rebs are still fighting. Looks like they withdrew. Higher taxes, here they come. All right, so let's cancel that movement and move on to Winchester instead. Readiness is still strongly in the green. Maybe we'll engage some Rebs as they retreat through our lines. Imboden withdrew west. Ford is south. Claims he has 10,000 men there. But apparently we inflicted 220 casualties on the Rebs as their rear guard withdrew past us. So I guess that's good. Pause. Rapidan Bridge. So troops are moving somewhere. I guess maybe that's over here. 3rd Division perhaps moving. Maybe we should go join them. I'd rather clear the valley front though. All right. Strategery. All right, can we go engage Ford's division? Seems like a relatively fair fight. 10,000 versus 11,000, and we got the carbines. Where are they withdrawing to? So it says Ford's division is withdrawing. It doesn't tell me where. Still claims they're up here. Which is bad intel. Is Imboden up here too? No, apparently not. Okay, well let's move down here to join the 3rd Division then. We'll move on Culpeper, because apparently these intel reports are bad. Slow, muddy roads. Oh god, we're fighting an unknown unit of 10,000 men under General Ford. Apparently we just ran into him as we crossed out of the valley. Let's go. Let's see what happens here with our repeating rifles. Let's go, boys! Have at 'em! Battle of Front Royal. The Confederacy fields 10,000 men under Brigadier General Ford. The illustrious great-grandfather of Henry T. Ford. I don't know if that's true. General McCormick fields a force of 11,113 men. With some of the finest weapons. My dearest Aunt Nana, they recently gave me a fine weapon. They call it the Sharp's Carbine. It has these strange metallic cartridges. Our scouts report the enemy is near Front Royal, 10,000 men, 10 guns. Enemy is veterans and morale is reported to be stable. Supply situation of our army is outstanding. We are on the offensive. The enemy holds the factory up here in the northeast, and we are deploying over here to the east. Or west. I can't do math. I can't do math. All right, we'll deploy on the Cedar Creek grade. No sense in doing anything with construction because we're not going to be staying still. All right, so zoom in. We got to go scout the enemy position out. Here's our multiple brigades. We've got the 4th Brigade, which is our cavalry brigade of about 1,400 men. Whoa, I hate the rotating of the map. I know you can turn it off. I should turn it off. Let's go move those boys into Winchester itself. That'll be their order. 1st Brigade also moving into Winchester. I'm going to assume or hope, maybe that's a bad assumption, that we won't run into the enemy as we move into the town. I'm assuming they're going to hold out near the objective position, but we shall see. We'll move it forward at ×5 speed. We'll wait to see how the orders come in and who's ready for a traffic jam. I am. Because based on when those units get those orders, multiple units will probably be converging on the same roadway, which will lead to disorganization. Probably would have been better to stagger my orders, but such is life. All right. Get moving, boys. Oh, cavalry's going to move north, so that'll at least alleviate some of the traffic jam as they move up north along this northwest turnpike. Wow, that one regiment's way out ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, the infantry is all jammed up here on this roadway. So we got about 1,500 men north, about 9,000 men crammed in on this roadway. It is 1,200 hours, so it is midday, which means we may not get this battle fought today. It may end up being a 2-day affair. But we shall see. This looks like good defensive ground. If the enemy deploys their forces along this ridge line opposite of the creek here, they could have some very imposing defenses. Someone is shooting. There we go. We got the enemy. We found them. Our cavalry did their job. The eyes of the army has discovered the enemy in breastworks. Not trenches, but breastworks south of the road here. But north of the road, there appear to be no entrenchments. So, one would assume it would be wise to launch an offensive on the north end of their line and then sweep south down their defenses as we unbuckle their position. Good job, cavalry. You did your job. So what I want you to do now is go deploy yourselves on this fence line to the north of the town as the infantry comes up. I'm going to have Colonel von Steinwehr deploy his troops on these roads, or maybe they're even fences. I can't really tell from this part of the map. I think they're fences. Ooh, nope, don't do that. Yep, deploy here in your striker. Sweeney will deploy in the south near this wall, near the cemetery, to secure our left flank. And Kiefer will deploy kind of in reserve along this railroad track, hopefully minimizing the impact that enemy artillery might have on us. We're going to move down to ×2 speed, which means things will probably slow up a bit. But the way that morale checks work in this game, I don't think it's advisable to move it more than ×5 speed. So we'll just let things unfold as they're going to unfold. So our troops are coming up a little bit scattered. You can see these guys. Some of the, what are these guys? What's that symbol here? Unit is cut off. Well, kind of. All right. Who has the Spencers? Or whatever, Henrys. These guys' morale is not great. I don't know why. They should have had good morale. Everybody's been sitting in Washington the last however many months. Some of them have Spencers, don't they? Also, boys, don't... Okay, they have Spencers at least. Don't get in range. Nice little wood line here between us and them. But, yeah, don't get yourselves in range. Cavalry moving north, sort of scouting out the enemy position as they go. Drawing some artillery fire, but so far no casualties. I guess one casualty. It would be nice, perhaps, to deploy a brigade in this wood line here and flank the enemy moving down. They will probably adjust their position once they... If they see me do that. The AI usually does adjust positions if they see you flanking them. Oops, I don't want you to go in the house. Lorenz. Henry. Okay, so this lead brigade up here Good. The 1st Brigade, von Steinwehr's, has the Henry rifle unit. No indication of further enemy troops. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get into position before nightfall. We've got kind of a strung out division here. God, they only get 40 rounds of ammo. I wish there was a way you could like do some quartermastery stuff to get your troops to get more ammo. 40 rounds with a rapid firing weapon like that is nothing. And then with as bad as the resupply is, ugh. Okay, von Steinwehr, we're actually going to deploy your boys on this fence line north here. And then Riley, we're going to deploy your boys facing south on this elevation. Sweeney, I want you to deploy in single line, and you're going to deploy near Striker to maybe pin the enemy in position. We've lost some sight on the enemy. And then Kiefer will probably deploy south of there near the cemetery to maybe make a feint toward at least where the hinge of the entrenchments are. Again, try and keep enemy positions in place. There's a nice little elevation here. But yeah. Let's go, boys. I'm going to skip ahead a bit in the recording till when we're in better position or until something happens. Okay, boys, we're back. We're getting into position. Sweeney's brigade here on the southern flank or right flank has formed up into these woods and along this fence line extending north. We've got Kiefer's brigade deploying at the moment into this sort of wheat field and fence line. We've also deployed some artillery, or we're working on deploying some artillery. We are under enemy bombardment, which thus far has not done much damage. And then the sledgehammer of the attack is forming up in the north under Adolf von Steinwehr with this wood line here in their front. And we've got the 4th Cavalry Brigade on their flank. So it is 1500 hours. I don't know that we're going to get into action, but we're going to push ahead anyway. And we're going to move the cavalry first. We'll then issue the order to the 1st Brigade to come down, hopefully toward this enemy flank, and sweep them from their positions while we're in cover. In a moment, we will order our troops sort of in the center to move forward. We're going to hold off on that a little bit, just because I think it makes sense to wait a bit. We're also going to throw some skirmishers out front of our boys to give them a little bit of a screening force as they advance. Perhaps, I guess. We'll see. But yeah, it would be nice to throw some skirmishers out front to maybe take the brunt of some of the enemy fire, especially the guys who are dug in, and also just to engage. The enemy's got skirmishers out front as well, so we'll see what the AI decides to do with skirmishers out front. I've positioned myself kind of on the northern, or I guess on the center part of our line, where we're in good enough position to be in communication with von Steinwehr, but also the troops in the south. At least that's the hope, so that we can kind of maintain a decent command and control of the situation. So at this point, we're going to move, blah, 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 blah. Let's wait a second here, actually. Let's go ahead and order the artillery to detach, if I can find the damn things. These guys are firing, so that's good. Go ahead and order them to detach. I don't want my artillery moving forward with either of these attackers, since they're both firing on the enemy position. I don't want to lose that advantage of that bombardment. In the north, we'll let them move. But the cavalry is moving, and so are the troops in the north toward the woods. So at this point, I believe the issues for the artillery should have arrived. They are now detached, or they should be, and we'll move these boys forward here. So you can see a much cleaner line with just infantry as we order them to move forward toward the enemy. Cavalry's nice and fast. They're getting in behind the enemy lines, perhaps a little bit too quickly. 1st Brigade, you're going to come down this way. A little bit strange that we've got the artillery in the center of that. Cavalry's holding on the flank. They are under some artillery fire, so the enemy knows they're there, threatening their flank. But I don't know if there's anything they can do about it. They see us coming forward in the front for a grand assault. Orders are arriving here in the south, so these boys are moving forward. Division or brigade to the north is moving forward here by leaps and bounds across this open field toward the enemy positions. And von Steinwehr's boys are moving, although through the wood. I think we're going to arrive too soon here in the center, while von Steinwehr struggles with the wood. So we've got some firing underway between these skirmishers as they move into position. Reminder, these guys have rifles. I don't know what the Rebs have. But we're engaged with the enemy skirmishers. So we're burning some ammo, but hopefully holding the enemy in place. In the south, the 2nd Brigade is eating some artillery fire as they advance as well toward these entrenchments. Or not entrenchments, but breastworks. We've got a nice rippling fire here of skirmishers primarily engaged in the center. Where you're deploying those troops, but shifting them north. Remember, the AI can decide to do some things, and it's not always to my advantage, but... Okay, we have not yet pinned these guys in their positions. We're engaging with their skirmishers. Cliffhangers are good. Right? Well, whether they're good or not, this video is going to wrap it up here. The battle ended up going a fair bit over 1 hour, and so I'm going to wrap this up and split this fight into 2 parts, and we will see the rest of the fight. I know we've really only just got started and deployed our troops, but we'll see the rest of the fight in the next video. Until then, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time.